right, so tell me, I always want to know when I meet the famous Digerati, how did Christopher-Penn become Christopher-Penn? What's your story? How did you get here?
Really funny. I came here through technology, believe it or not. I got my bachelor's degree in political science. I got my master's degree in information systems. And a funny thing happened in the 1990s and in the 2000s. Technology became marketing in a lot of ways. Everyone went online, and so in the early days, there were not a lot of people who had experience with either, but the technologists were the ones who were building things. So I got my start when I started working for a company called the Student Loan Network. Back in 2003, and it was a little three-man shop where you were marketing, you were advertising, you were website development, and you were cleaning the restroom on Fridays because that was your day, and that evolved pretty naturally. It's funny because the student loan space at the time, which is where I was. The competitors had billion-dollar budgets. We used to joke that one of our biggest competitors at the time, Sallie Mae, had a bigger cream cheese budget than our annual revenue. So it was tough going up against them. So we started experimenting, and I started experimenting with all the forms of new media: blogging, podcasting, social networks when they came out. We were very prominent on MySpace when it was still relevant, and and that's how this stuff sort of evolved to the point where it's coming full circle again. If you notice when you're talking to people at the show here or in the other interviews with Talking with Tom, that there's a lot of grasping for what's new. People are desperate for new things, and there's new things happening all the time, but they're not big and flashy. They're all happening on the technology side. One tip that I give people is make sure that you're following the actual technologies too, not just what does social media expert XYZ say about Twitter. Well, look at what they're doing with their back-end platform. Recently, they announced that they were having an update to their enterprise Ruby install that gives them 30% more efficiency and lets them handle X% more requests per processing cycle. Well, if you can decode the technobabble, that turns into Twitter will be able to do more very, very soon because they're changing the engine. Facebook made some fairly startling announcements recently about what's going on with their apps infrastructure and things. And if you read up on what the technology folks are doing, you'll have the inside edge on just about everyone else who's just kind of repeating what's on Mashable and TechCrunch.